Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Chet Does DIY. Tonight I'm going over how to make a good white Euro mount for your deer. If you recall the short, if you did watch it, the first step you're going to do is flesh the skull as much as possible. That means skinning it, cutting off the nose, cutting off the bottom jaw if you can. That can be very difficult. What I did is I used my Sawzall with a metal cutting blade to cut off the jaw. Once you pry the jaw down, because the bottom jaw, is held in place right there, in that hole right there, by a very tough tendon. It might go up in there. I'm really not sure. I don't recall. Doesn't matter. Just make sure that you don't cut through, the back part of the skull. You don't hit any of this stuff up in here, and that's the best way I found to remove the bottom jaw. All right, so you fleshed it as much as you could. You've taken off the bottom jaw. Now you're going to get a huge pot that the entire rack can fit inside of. And you're going to put it on a propane burner outside. You're going to submerge the skull up to the base of the antlers as best as you can. Okay? You're going to boil it for probably about an hour. It doesn't have to be a rolling high heat boil. A good simmer boil is fine. And then you're going to take it out. You're going to flesh it some more with a pressure washer. Believe it or not, this is the easiest way. With a pressure washer, not your high pressure tip on your pressure washer. I'm not sure what kind of pressure washer you got, but I think mine is a green tip is what I use. Or maybe a, not the yellow tip. Yellow tip on mine is high pressure. Definitely not the jet, the red tip. And you're going to pressure wash it as much as you can off. You're going to stick the pressure washer down inside the nasal cavity and pressure wash that out also, but only after you have gotten a pair of long needle nose pliers, very long, and go up into the nasal cavity and rip out as much nasal crap as you can. And there is a lot. Okay? And also, you're going to get inside the skull and you're going to get the brain out as best as you can. And it's not an easy process. And you can put the pressure washer in there, but be mindful that whenever you put the pressure washer inside a closed system, the water only has one way to come out, and that's back towards you. So wear a poncho, wear a pair of rubber boots, a pair of protective eyeglasses, so on and so forth. It's a messy process. I haven't found a better way to do it. This is only about my 8th time doing it. Anyway, so you pressure wash in the skull cavity to pressure wash out the brain. And remember, the brain is fat. So if you have dogs or cats, they're going to be all up in it. It's going to be everywhere. And so you pulled out the brain, you pressure washed in the nasal cavity, you ripped out all the nasal cavity first. Remember, pull out the nasal cavity as best as you can first, then pressure wash in the nasal cavity. Pull out the brain as best as you can first, and then pressure wash inside the brain cavity inside the skull. Now, you're going to go back to your pot with fresh water this time, and you're going to put about probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 cups of peroxide in there with the water, depending on how deep your water is, how big your skull is. For a skull that size, I'd say probably about maybe 1 cup of peroxide. But I did all 3 of these at the same time in one pot, so I think I did about 4 cups. Anyway, at this point, it is integral not to submerge the antlers, because the peroxide is what's going to give you this good white look. All right, so try to only make the water line come up to the base of the antlers if you can. If you have a problem with that, then I suggest you get some saran wrap and wrap it around as tight as you possibly can around the base. Then some tape, saran wrap up, the antlers as much as you want to, and then just tape that son of a gun off good and tight. That's going to be the best way to avoid getting that peroxide on your antlers. The fleshing process, you're gonna do it several times. With the peroxide, I suggest you boil like maybe 15 minutes at a time. Pull it out, and flesh. Get you a set of pick tools from like Harbor Freight, like dentistry pick tools from Harbor Freight, and that'll really help getting in a lot of little small, cracks and crevices, places you can't really see, because there's lots of little scent glands on these guys. Scent glands there. Scent glands right there. There's all kinds of things up inside here where you won't be able to see. So do that a few times until you are completely satisfied with how much you've gotten out. Let it sit out in the sun to dry. The sun is going to help bleach the skull white. Do not allow the squirrels to get to it because they will gnaw on these antlers. If you don't know, squirrels like eating deer antlers. So make your little wire cage or something, or have it set somewhere where the squirrels don't normally get to, like maybe in the back of your truck. You know, maybe on top of an awning on top of your house or something. Don't leave it where the squirrels can get to it. So that's going to help dehydrate everything. Anything, you know, that could possibly rot that's left inside there, that's going to dehydrate everything to the point to where it won't rot. And for an extra step, you can set it on the ground with the wire cage around it so the squirrels don't gnaw on it. And the ants will come in and they'll pick off any other little bitty bits that are in there. Don't boil it too long or the skull will fall apart. Whenever you go to pressure washing, this piece, these two pieces right here, they can and very possibly will fall off. But if they do, just save them and just use a good clear super glue, like I did on this one, if you can see it. Yep. Good clear super glue, like a good clear, crystal clear Gorilla Glue. Just glue them back on. Not a big deal. All right. Don't blast through here with your pressure washer. Don't blast through there. Try not to, okay? With the teeth, they're a little bit harder. If you can pull them out, I suggest you do. Boil them in a separate pot with peroxide and water, or get those same pick tools and scrape them like a dentist does, or your Dremel tool with a plastic brush, not a wire brush, because a wire brush will eat into the teeth and turn the teeth gray, a grayish color because of the metal. That is one of the hardest parts also. So, if you have any questions or concerns, I'll be happy to try to answer them for you if you can. As always, good luck and Godspeed.